Welcome everybody to the talk on entities, spirit guides, children and their awareness of the same, right? To begin with, I'm extremely grateful to each one of you for being here on this call because it's you, your choice, that makes me want to expand my world and receive from each one of you and contribute to each one of you in whatever way possible. When we speak of spirit guides, it's a word that can be scary, uh, uncertain, fearful. Um, you may have a different view of it, like you might think of it as a ghost or, you know, uh, a space which is not very comfortable for you. So just uh, be aware of what really is happening around you. They can really contribute to us and they can be real fun to be with. I will give you a lot of movie references. To begin with, I will speak of Golmaal because that's the most recent one, the last Golmaal, where she communicates with spirit guides. And considering a lot of you are from the healing space and you may be familiar with a lot that goes on, uh, just uh, receive whatever possible. All right. So I'm going to start off. So, spirit guides, entities, voice messages, angels, children, and their awareness. What do you know about entities, guides, angels? What do you know about it? If you could just share, what is it that you know or you have experienced in your space? Anybody can go first, please.
So for me, Aditi, just here, for me, it is like anything which is not in the physical body, which does not have a form, becomes an entity.
So, does it mean that plants are not?
No, plants are in the physical form, right? You can see a plant. There is a boundary to a plant. So whichever does not have a defined boundary,
The
that
beings
becomes,
without bodies.
yeah, that becomes an entity. And I have interacted with so many of them, starting from angels, cherubs, spirit guides, the record keepers, to those entities who've been wanting to transcend to the light, and they've approached me so that I could send them to light in the meditation. So that's been an experience in a snapshot.
Beautiful. And when you began, was there ever fear?
I had fear of ghosts when I was a child and I was growing up. I don't know where that came from. But I think as soon as it came, it just went by itself. But I think as I grew up and got acquainted to the inside space, it just went away.
Was it fear of ghost? Was it fear of darkness? Was it fear of something that you knew was different about you?
No, it was basically about those typical Hindi movies with those sound effects and abhi yahan se kuch aayega, wahan se kuch aayega. So it was a drama that was created by them. That it was more about that.
Absolutely. True. So, somebody else who would like to share, how much of it do we buy from the movies?
Can I come in, Aditi?
Sure. Yeah.
So when Just is saying without boundaries, she said, just
Yeah. Without form, basically.
without form.
It's
So,
not like you see the physical flesh and stuff.
yeah, so I have interactions with what should I say? They were not the physical aspect I don't see, but still I see the body. You know,
Okay. So how do you see it? You see it
as just like you see a mirror image.
Okay.
So it was like that, the interactions that I had.
Awesome.
And few interactions I had with pieces of furniture. I have talked about this to Nishita also on one fine day. So I had some interactions with some pieces that are still there in my house. I can show you. I have interactions with these furniture that belonged to my late grandfathers.
Exactly. So furniture becomes an entity. Now, entity need not necessarily be without a body.
Yes, and
Something which
clothes
is
too. And clothes too.
sentient, insentient, both, right?
I'm saying clothes. These.
Absolutely.
So I feel there is some communication happening, many a times it happens. I want to give, that old suit of mine to someone, and, suddenly I feel the piece is saying, please don't give me, keep it in your cupboard only.
Wow.
So I
Is it
take
the
out the
cloth
rest.
that speaks to you? Is it your emotion? Just be aware. Just keep asking questions.
I keep
With
the
this,
cloth. I keep the cloth and give rest of the pieces that I have to remove
cool.
from. So you keep that piece.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Anybody else? And what is it that you want to know? So answer both these questions. So Jaz, is there anything specific that you're looking for? What is it that you want to know about them?
Well, first of all, this itself is a knowledge that came in, that, furniture and clothes and all of that, because I took them as forms of consciousness, but not entity. So that's already learning. I'm just here to explore and learn whatever you're providing. Nothing as such that I'm looking for in particular.
Cool.
Same with me. I'm here just to listen all of you people and enhance my knowledge. Same here.
Anybody else? Nishita, who had the most curiosity about the class? Nishita, are you there?
Aditi,
Yeah.
one was, why do they choose certain people to communicate with and not everyone?
You tell me. When somebody rings your doorbell, you have to open the door for them to let them in. So have you opened the door to them?
I have.
So it's always about choice. I will come to that when we are going through it. It's always about you choosing to interact, communicate, receive from them. And when you do that, and how you do that is also, at times, there are questions about how they harm us and things like that. I will address that too. But the idea is, be very aware that you are the one who invites them into your space. You are the one who says, here I am available to communicate with you. Okay? It could be because you're lonely. It could be because you're looking for super powerful energies, because you want to go through something. Yeah. Anybody else who wants to quickly share something? Because then I will move on. Yeah.
One more thing, Aditi, can the
Yeah.
deceased people can also come into the entity?
Those are your spirit guides. Those are your angels. Those are your
No, the person who has just passed away. And
absolutely. Like I said, Nisreen, when she shared about it, that was awareness for us.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So how many of you have grown up listening to stories? All of us?
Okay, I have a question, Aditi.
Yes, Sheetal.
I have not really understood a difference between an angel or a spirit guide. For me, my guru is everything. It doesn't matter to me whether it's. Rather, my guru is very much. I feel his presence all the time, all the time. So I've never understood what an angel. To me, he's everything into one.
Apart from him, Sheetal, and considering that you're coming from the scientific bent of mind, apart from him, has there ever been a space where a person has come to you who's really sick? You haven't really figured what his illness is, but he's got dark circles and he looks like he's about to die, but not yet dead.
Right.
Have you ever worked with somebody like that?
I have worked with multiple people who are critical. So.
Absolutely. And I've specifically put something there to address what your question is. Okay. So when you've made your guru the be all and end all, your faith takes over all this awareness at times as well. So even if the entity is trying to communicate with you, you will just put the energy and positivity to sort of take care of it without taking the control.
Sorry, come again. I didn't understand that.
I didn't get that part.
Okay, so wait for it. Let me address it.
Okay,
Do
all
that.
right. But I also want to know what is the hierarchy like, because I had read somewhere, from a spiritual research institute where they do a lot of understanding of the energies, and they said angels or archangels are basically entities which can communicate from the human plane to the higher planes, but they really can't help us out. So I'm very interested to know what is the hierarchy like, and what do
Okay.
spirit guides are, what are angels. So I'm a novice in this, because for me it's only my guru, that's it. Like,
Wow.
so I'm really interested in knowing what is it would be like.
Okay, so I will. So what I'll do now is hold on to your questions.
Okay, great.
Last bit is where I address the questions. If I haven't already addressed them through the PPT, because trust me, I kept all these questions in mind because you
All
don't
right.
share your questions with me, and I've tried to create this. If you
Okay.
still have doubts, and I hope you do, because I don't want this to end here. I want your journey to begin deeper with this beautiful world of spirit guides. So hold on to that question and ask me again if I haven't addressed it already. Right?
Sure, I will.
Cool.
Aditi, I have a question, please.
Who's there?
Nisreen,
हाँ निस्रीन बोलो.
you are saying I shared something, but I can't figure out
aunt's,
what
your aunt's information.
my aunt's information as in.
Yesterday you shared, right? You
What did I?
you couldn't come on call because somebody passed away, right?
Yeah. So you were saying about.
So that was a lot of awareness. Like when Hema's asking, do dead people sort of come into our awareness? Of course they do when they want to talk.
Okay. Okay, that is what you meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So for me, the biggest story that I told my children when they were growing up was Pinocchio. That if you lie, your nose will become longer. And the story of Pinocchio is when that child wants to become a good child for his father, his so-called created father, the carpenter who creates Pinocchio, there is an angel who comes and helps Pinocchio, right? So sometime in your life, you've been there where you've asked for something greater, something more powerful. Sheetal, for you, it is your guru, your God. For me, there was a time when, of course, you've been taught you're strong, you're this, you're that. My dad was sick and I was in a hospital, and the doctors were like, just pray and let's see and this, that, the other. And I wasn't willing to let him go then. So, and I'm big time from movies. So I just sat in that prayer room calling all the gods, anybody who was around to help me and go to that ICU room where I wasn't allowed 24/7 and heal my dad. That was my first experience with a spirit guide, my ancestors, the angels, the fairy world, and I didn't know anything about it before that day. So I hadn't experienced anything before that, not in my awareness at least. So when I did that, and when things started to shift, and when my dad was out of the hospital and he got better, is where my faith began. And every day my communication started with them. When he was really sick, which was about 6 to 8 months later, when he was really sick, and I decided that this was too much for him to take health-wise, I actually spoke to my grandparents, his grandparents. Now, they were not in this world. They were beings who have transcended and probably taken rebirth also. I don't know. But I spoke to them and I said, you know what? This is your child and he's suffering and you need to come and take him. And when you experience these kind of things, it's a different energy. It's a different space. It's way beyond your own capacity and your trust. And you start thinking, oh, this is a fake. This can't be true. I didn't do this. Many a times we can get into that space. And we shut down the awareness that we have with these bodies. Hold on, just sorry. So we shut down that awareness. But it happened. I mean, my dad transcended with a lot of ease, like within 2 days after me talking to my grandparents and his ancestors and, the Purvaj, so to say. So yes, they're always around when we call upon them. And why do they listen to some? And why do they give their awareness to some and not to everybody? Because it's your faith, right? Nobody came and told me this exists. Nowhere did I read about it. It was much later. I had read the book Laws of the Spirit World, and there are these realms. But at that point of time, I wasn't aware. If you take the fairy tale of Cinderella, she didn't have her mother. She was miserable. She was feeling lonely, left out. Life was over for her. But she called upon her ask of wanting to attend that ball, and swoosh, abracadabra, the fairy came, helped her out. That is how the seed was sown in our minds about spirit guides, angels. Do good, good will happen to you. If you do bad, you can be harmed. So there are a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of point of views that stay within our mind. Okay, subconsciously maybe, but they are there. And we all have the capacity to connect to this divine space. We just have to make a choice. So, is this something familiar? When you see the picture, does it speak to you? Maybe while doing a reading for somebody, you would have got an image like this. Maybe when you asked for something, it would have come true and you would have thought, hey, maybe, like if you remember this scene from Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, he says, I spoke to my father and I directly asked God to speak to my father, and he granted the wish for the other person, right? So we are always trying to constantly connect with somebody up there to do something good for us, right? Especially when we are in the space that we are in, the divine space that we are in, right? There is a video. I'm not sure if I want to show it to you right at this moment. It's a cartoon. It's called Coco. Okay, you can watch the whole cartoon. It's just the trailer here. But how many of us have rituals of Shraddh, right? And I'm sure each sect has different practices. So what are we doing? We are honoring the beings who have transcended. We are giving them respect and telling them that thank you for being with us. And in mythology, the concept is that Karan, Barveer Karn, was a very giving person, but he never offered food to anybody. And that is why when he was transcending, there was a lot of pain for him. And that's when somebody instructed about feeding people. That is why during Shraddh, we offer food to people so that our ancestors can receive whatever they can in the space above, right? Similarly, crows. And like this, a lot of tribal sects symbolize or, connect something with the spirit guides. We are doing this, like there are certain tribes who pray to the carrot and they believe it's something which has come down from their ancestors. The animal totems. So everywhere we are being told that there is something that is protecting us, caring for us, nurturing us here. And whenever we feel lonely, we can connect to them because we're never alone in this space. How do guides communicate? Anybody who has an experience?
One of the forms that I have seen is that I will say, give me a sign, and I get a sign.
Cool.
Or I will ask for a specific sign. So I will say that, you know what, this is what I'm thinking. And if this is what it is, I want to see a feather. And I would see a feather.
Okay.
The other way is I may be thinking something, and as I change the channels, that song is playing, which is confirming or giving an answer of what it is. Other times it's just a feeling, as those five senses, either a feeling or an image or a sound that comes in. Like I told you the latest things about the angels hosting. When they told me 8 o'clock in the morning, ki uth ja, aap कहने जा दे. So that was the sound that came. So different forms.
And in my previous call, somebody had said, I had shared that traffic signals, for me, that's a big sign. Traffic signals. This was just a funny thing that I thought would add something to our chat. So that is really one of the spirit guides. She is in light.
Good. Hello.
This is our live entity coming in.
Yes, absolutely. So how do they communicate with us? Sometimes your electricity will give you trouble. All right. Sometimes you're at a traffic signal and you say, I want to know the answer. Thank you so much. And
Phones all the time.
you'll get your answer. Yeah, and Himaji, I remember you mentioned in that previous call that traffic signal works for me too. So they communicate with us through the electricity. Now, why should we wait for them to communicate with us so harshly? When we get a slight nudge, we should listen to it. Okay. If I was to share my example, I had my daughter 5 years after my son, and I was very sure that I needed a girl child. I just had to have a girl child. So I've literally created her in my space. And the qualities that I asked for that child are all there present in her. I'm having a tough time dealing with it now, but she is truly my guide. So it's about how you choose to communicate with them too. It's not always like the booth that we see or how it's made out to be in the movies. They are constantly communicating with you. And when they are answering us, we need to be so much more grateful for that. So be very aware of what you're asking for and how you're communicating with your guides. What not to do, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. कभी ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि अब हो गया, मेरे पास कोई पावर नहीं है, मुझे जो करना था मैं नहीं कर सकता या कर सकती. That is when they will come and take over total control of you because you are giving up. And that is where conflict, that is why they say this person is possessed or this person is, cuckoo, right? A lot of the ADHD children, and if you've heard of indigo children in the 70s, there were children born as the indigo children. They had probably seen a lot of trauma or something before during the war. And when they were born, they were very much connected to nature, Mother Earth. And if we were all, okay, let's do this. Let's all start talking. All of us have to say some sentence and we will all start at when I snap my fingers. Okay, so everybody please unmute yourself. Unmute everybody. And everybody has to say a sentence and each one must remember one sentence that they heard. So you have to speak something and you have to hear something. Okay? Now, audio is not, can you please unmute yourself? Cool. So, let's start.
The world is a beautiful place.
You all have to say something at the same time. Oh, we all say something at the same time. So let's go. 1, 2.
I love
Everybody.
I love
so
my
beautiful.
guru.
We are so grateful for each other.
The world is a beautiful.
Now, you can all mute yourself. Did everybody get one sentence? We were all talking at the same time. Did you all catch hold of one sentence? Maybe the last one that was spoken. For an ADHD child, the information is coming like this. And it is not easy for that child to focus on, firstly, he or she doesn't know where to focus. So when we practice with them and get them to focus on one thing, which takes time and training, they can be put on track. A lot of behavior issues are because there's so much stimulation that is coming. Do this, that. It's all coming at the same time. Right? Similarly, your entity communication could be like this. Like when your clothes or your furniture is talking to you now, Hemaji, maybe you trained your mind with yoga, with practices that you can receive this information from them. How about when you were a child and you walked into a room, maybe a movie theater, and it just felt very uncomfortable and dense? Maybe you could sense that. For me, even today, to walk into a hospital is very heavy because there are so many entities there. Yes? Right.
Before coming to Mumbai, I was in Bhopal and I have worked for more than 2 years in that hospital as an administrative officer. I know what I have gone through. It's heavy. It's heavy. Very heavy.
So how many of you, like Hemaji, I think you said you don't see form and structure, but do you see something like this when you are?
No.
Okay. But this is one of the things that you may see when you sense an entity. If somebody's like, I see this at times when I'm doing Akashic readings, even when I'm doing a tarot reading. So there are times when the person who's walked in is also carrying an entity with them. Maybe they are connected to their grandparents. Maybe they are connected to something, some oath or vow, which they took as part of a tribe, as part of a community. And there are these, energy beings that they carry with them. So you become aware of their presence. It need not be yours. Sheetal, I hope this video answers your question. But let's see.
Yeah, I think I'll go through the entire talk and then I will tell
Ask
you.
a question. Sure, absolutely.
The concept, honestly, I have never seen anything like that. Like,
Now
apart
let's just focus on this video. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Sorry, your video? No, I can't hear it. I can't see a video. I can see just a picture.
No video.
I think now it is coming. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see it?
It's a blank screen right now. Nothing is playing. You have to play it.
There are so many doctors, but she sees him.
I can't hear any sound. Everybody can hear
Okay, it's
sound.
okay.
Okay.
This was a clip from the movie City of Angels. 1 second. Ouch. Sorry. Ah, I'm not able to sort of stop it, but